Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another amazing episode of The Left Wing. I am TJ Whitehead, powers taken, not given, not joined by John Cooper Paz of Counterpoint Politics, and I'm not entirely sure why. I think John said we were going to be doing the show together on Thursday this week, but maybe not. So I'll just stall for a little while and make it a short solo episode if I have to, if John can't appear. But since we have a little just spare time to kind of go over this, I want to take a second to talk about my immense frustration with The Boys season 5. Something that I said I wouldn't be doing, but I just feel like I can't help myself. The characters were just destroyed. At just top to bottom, every single one of them, they didn't flush them out. They didn't have any direction they were heading with them. It was just an absolute mess. No more egregious example was the character of O Father. O Father was one of the few good things that The Boys season 5 did right. That, or at least one of the aspects of the show that I actually enjoyed. Whenever O Father was on the scene, was in a scene, I was paying attention. He was an interesting, intriguing character who they had a lot of cool setup for that had no payoff. No payoff on almost any of them. And he does have the best moment of the show with the Raise Him Up, Raise Him High song he sang for Homelander. That was an absolute blast. The Boys does a very good job with their musical numbers. They had that Supersonic song, License to Drive, from season 2, I think. They also had that Vought Christmas or Homelander Christmas, Vought on Ice, I think. All their songs are pretty good on that. But Oh Father bothered me because they set up all this cool stuff like right away when O Father was talking to that crowd, and you see his first example of O Father's ability where he just screams into the crowd. He yells into the crowd, it shakes, it reverberates, and right as the sonic scream hits Homelander starts hearing voices in his head. Like immediately afterward, he hears from the angel talking to him, and he starts thinking, I'm God. And I thought at the moment watching that, oh, maybe O Father is mind controlling Homelander right now. Maybe he's behind all of this. That would be a pretty cool plot element to explore. Nothing. Nothing at all about it. They just said O Father's just another believer at the end of the day, and that was pretty disappointing. The relationship that he had with Starlight and with Ashley was pretty cool, and seeing him talk about his journey, about his departure from faith, how he believed in God, how he trusted, how he prayed every day, and these prayers were never answered. And that's why he ended up leaving the God of Christianity, and why he was so attracted to a person like Homelander, who's a God he could see in front of his face. And then when he gets to interact with this new God that he has, he notices that, oh, this is a psychotic mass murderer, which I have to say is kind of funny. Because if you read the Old Testament, what Homelander said about how he wants to massacre all the unbelievers, that's textbook Yahweh in the Old Testament right there. Every time that there is an incident in the Bible where there are people who have the thought crimes of not believing, the golden calf, ironically, is a great example of this, that whenever the Israelites create a golden calf, what's God's solution to this problem of non-belief or belief in the wrong God? Massacre. Tells Moses, kill them all. Whenever they ran across another tribe that didn't believe properly, kill them all. So anyways, I find it funny that that's what made O Father skeptical of Homelander. And I was really interested to see how they would handle O Father's skepticism. How Homelander said, no, I'm not the second coming. I'm my own first coming. But O Father still kept second coming in the script. How whenever Homelander said, we need to massacre these folks, you could see O Father was kind of sitting back and thinking on that. And nope. All we got was O Father's head being blown smooth off by his own power. Just ball gag in the mouth, exploded head. Really disappointed right there. I feel like I could do a dozen videos about The Boys season 5, how much it let me down. But hi guys, I appreciate everyone saying hi. None of the common folks or the regulars. That's the word I was looking for. But no, what John and I were going to talk about was this thing with Thomas Massey in Kentucky. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Thomas Massey is your standard, crazy right-wing Republican. There's no love lost for Thomas Massey on my side here. I'm not I'm not here saying that Thomas Massey is some sort of hero or whatever, just meeting the basic qualifications for human decency, saying that, yeah, I think that we probably should release the Epstein files. I'm one of a few Republicans who were just pushing really hard for this after Trump told them all to shut up about it. And he, mild, or I shouldn't say mild, but some criticisms of our interactions with Iran and our relationship with the Israeli government. And Trump turned both barrels on him, and now he's gone. This is great for the short-term implications of Donald Trump's power and his hooks on the Republican Party. He's made it very clear for the last 10 years that any opposition against Donald Trump will not be stood for. It's not something that Donald Trump will put up with. Every Republican who stands up against Donald Trump loses. They can't win. Donald Trump is a Republican crushing machine. Ever since he first stepped on the stage and debated Republicans back in 2015 and 2016, he massacres them all. And ever since he has gotten the support from your standard Republican voter, people who are voting in Republican primaries, he probably has like a 95% approval rating with your most hardcore Republicans out there. No one will stand up against him. This is the thing about Donald Trump people got to realize. Your average Republican who is, a Republican who was in power, Republicans who were like Republican media, Republican intelligentsia, to the extent that exists at all, they hate Donald Trump. They realize he is the cancerous poison that he actually is, and they want nothing to do with him, but they're stuck with him. If you step out against Trump, he will destroy you. Just some Greek guy says, I thought The Boys season finale was bittersweet at best. I'm just going bitter. The final fight with Homelander in the Oval Office was a disgrace. Well, it was an absolute disgrace. This is like, you're telling me that in season... Well, actually, the first thing that bothered me about it was the solution to beating Homelander at the end of season 3. Wait. Not... Or midway through season 3 was to double team or triple team him and have Soldier Boy hit him with the nuclear blast to take away his power. That was their solution in the middle of season 3. End of season 5, they progressed to a point where their plan is triple team him and have Kimiko hit him with a nuclear blast. That's it. There's and the V1. I hate how much season 5 focused on the V1, and it turned out it didn't really matter. Yeah, it made him immune from the virus, but Homelander's abilities didn't seem any different. He seemed weaker, in fact. The fact you're telling me that 3 grown men soups, Temp v. Huey, Temp v. Butcher, and goddamn Soldier Boy could not hold Homelander down. But Butcher and Ryan alone, a child, could hold him down while Kimiko sat there trying to get her energy to blast him. Insanity. Yeah, like why did he just slice Kimiko in half immediately like he did earlier in season 5? Like he saw her and cut her right in half with the laser. Could have done that. Could have taken her right out of the game. He didn't do it. It was just insulting. And them walking into the White House and being trapped like amateurs in that tunnel, and only for the White House's plan to be pelting them with bullets, knowing that they had superheroes coming after them, and that was their plan. Not gas, not psychics, not bombs, bullets. Bullets that almost every soup is immune to. I don't know, it was just kind of depressing, but thanks for bringing that up, just some Greek guy. But no, the Thomas Massey thing, back to the politics that we were talking about, this is indicative of how the Republican Party is just the party of Trump right now. We joke about how it's a cult. We joke about how this is it's a group of people who have no guiding principles other than the fact that they support Donald Trump. That's it. Like, if Donald Trump came out and said that I'm a communist now, they would be communist. That's it. I mean, I haven't seen anything like it. It's kind of dark. Let's see. Thomas Massey was one of the only GOP members I've had respect for. I mean, you can tamper that down. You don't need to have respect for Thomas Massey. You don't. It's a very low level of respect because, like I said, it is the lowest bar that you could possibly clear. Like, release the Epstein files. That's it. I think Thomas Massey and Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nancy Mace, any of the Republicans who have actually stepped out in opposition of Donald Trump when it comes to this Epstein thing, I think that they are playing a longer term game. They know that Donald Trump has 3 years left in his term. They know that the Republicans are going to be massacred in the midterm elections, and Trump is going to have very little national power for the next 2 years. He'll have a ton of power within conservative politics in the Republican Party. That's not going away. But they know that he has a 37% approval rating. It's just that they realize that there's a future to their politics. I think Massey said it himself a few months ago. It was like, one of these days Donald Trump's not going to be president anymore. And you're not going to want to run for office in 2030 or 2032 and have people pull up clips of you saying, actually, no, we shouldn't release the Epstein files. That's going to hurt you more than a short-term hurt from Donald Trump. So I think that's the game that they're playing. It's honestly a good idea, but don't fall over yourselves trying to praise these people. They are not our friends. I live in Kuwait, and I'm caught in the middle of the Iran-U.S. conflict, and it's getting awful for us. We had to make classes online, like back in COVID. Just some geeky guy. Are you in the army? And you said, yo, bro, do you know me? I don't know. This is you never know. I never know who's commenting on these pages here. At this point, it would take a miracle for Vance to win in 2028. Yeah, it would. I don't think Vance has much of a chance anyway. I don't think Vance has really. There's no large J.D. Vance constituency. It's just not something that exists. J.D. Vance is just, oh, no, you're a citizen in Kuwait. Okay, never mind. All right, yeah, so there's just no giant J.D. Vance constituency. It's not a thing. J.D. Vance has, like his small levels of support, but you're not going to find a lot of people rallying for Vance. It's no Republican has what Donald Trump has. No one is coming to. There's no one who could actually claim the mantle of MAGA once Donald Trump leaves. Donald Trump is he's a singular figure that, you can really see it even in the midterm elections. Like even the last one, when it wasn't so much that he wasn't super unpopular like he is now, his endorsements only go so far. His endorsements matter a lot when it comes to the Republican primaries, but it doesn't really mean so much in the general election. Well, anyway, thought I'd get it off my chest. John isn't here, so I'll do a quick one, but we'll catch you guys later. Maybe we'll just talk about more. See you on Tuesday. Hope you're on TikTok. Bye.